Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a nice educational post about boxed color. So, everybody knows hairstylists are always like, no, please, don't do it. Don't color your hair. But I'm sure you all want to know, what's the big deal? Is it really that bad? I colored my hair before with a box and it looked good. What should we believe? What's the truth out there? Is it really because hairstylists just don't want you to stop coming to them because you can do it at home? Or are there really risks? Let's talk about all of those things today so that you can be informed as to what you can do to take care of your hair while you're at home. So, why might you want to color your hair? We've all been on this pandemic for almost 3 months now. And I mean, you can see even I've got some roots going on here that need to get handled. So when times get tough, you start thinking crazy things. What should I do? Could I do it myself? I don't know. I look a little crazy. I've done some DIYs myself too. I've done my own acrylic nails and my own pedicure. So I can definitely see why some would be really anxious to color their roots and get rid of those grays and make things go away. So what do you need to know before you take that plunge and start to experience at-home color? I want to talk to you guys about some facts and some myths about what really goes on when you use box color. First, let's talk about the quality of ingredients. Ingredients in box color and professional color, of course, cannot be 100% the same, although they are similar in some ways. A lot of the professional brands who manufacture the professional color, pretty much all of them make a box color for at-home use. Well, why would they do that? They want to have both sides of the market because you have to understand that hair color, as much as we love it, is a luxury. It's not something that we need to survive, and luxuries range in what people want to spend on them. So for some of us, luxury is stepping out and buying a nice iced coffee, getting a mani-pedi, and calling it a day. For others of us, a luxury is getting a full spa treatment, buying a lace wig, getting some custom color, and maybe even a designer bag to go along with it. We all have the things that are our guilty pleasures and give us joy. So in order to make sure that all customers are satisfied, many major brands make salon products and they also make at-home use products. So if the same person who makes your salon color also makes your box color, what's the difference? Why isn't it the same? Well, the ingredients are one of the biggest things. Now let's talk about what color does. Color actually makes a chemical change to your hair. We're talking permanent color right now. Permanent color makes a chemical change to your hair in which it breaks up the pigment or the melanin in your hair and then replaces it with artificial pigment. So this way you actually see the color results on your hair. Makes a chemical change. Same thing happens when you purchase the at-home color. Now, at-home color has to cover a wide variety of people who are picking up this box because you don't know who's going to buy the color. It could be someone with naturally black hair, could be someone with naturally blonde hair, could be someone with naturally gray hair. So anybody who's picked up a box of color will see that they always have that little chart on the side that says if your hair is brown, this will be your results. If your hair is black, this will be your results. If your hair is gray, this will be your results, or do not use because this is not for gray coverage. Or some of them do say it is for gray coverage. So in order to cover such a wide variety of people when you don't know who's picking up the box, they have to make sure that there's a developer that's going to be strong enough to both lift color, but also low enough to deposit color and cover gray. Typically in the box, it's around 30 volume developer. So you don't know necessarily what it is that you're getting when you purchase a box. Box color is made for ease of use. It's made so that the customer can get pretty decent results when they're using it. It tries to be as error-proof as possible, but you do have to follow the directions that come within the box. I know. If you're going to DIY, sometimes you want to have a little fun, experiment, wing it. But when your hair health is at question, you want to follow the directions that the chemists have come up with, because they test these things in laboratory because it is a chemical, and they come up with the best directions that's going to be for best use for you to have your best possible results. So definitely make sure that you're following the directions. Now, box color, one size fit all. How do we determine color in the salon? For hairstylists, there are 3 major things that we take into consideration when figuring out what color to put on your hair. That would be the color your hair is starting from, the texture of your hair, and the condition of your hair. All of these things affect what your end result is going to be. So if you and your best friend go to a store and you both pick up the same box of color, chances are your results are going to be completely different if you don't have the same texture hair, the same color hair, and the same condition hair. So you're taking a little bit of a risk as to what your end result is going to be when you purchase a color, because they are made to be one size fit all. Because of their needing to be one size fit all, and the fact that they need to provide really good gray coverage, but also be able to lift if you're trying to go lighter, they sometimes contain ingredients like metallic dyes or metallic fillers. These metallic dyes help the color to anchor very strongly, even if you mess up. If your application isn't, say, as A1 as if you went to a stylist. Because we understand that saturation and the size of our sections and strands are really important to get the results that we want. But the companies understand that someone at home isn't necessarily always going to take the perfect size sections or get perfect saturation. So if you add in ingredients that help the color to adhere, even if it's not a perfect application, the customer would be happy with the results. Why hairstylists don't necessarily like to deal with hair that has been colored with box color is because of those things. Because when that color adheres so well to the hair, it's very difficult to remove. We do have professional products, but sometimes the professional products we have are not compatible with the ingredients that are in the color that you purchase at the store. And that can make for a tricky situation if you try to change your hair color at the salon. So knowing this, if you do decide to use a box color in between now and your next salon visit, make sure you let your stylist know before she starts your hair, because this could have adverse reactions when the salon products mix with the home products. We're talking smoking hair, burning, melting kind of bad results. I've seen it happen with my own eyes, unfortunately. So we want to be completely transparent about what's going on. We're living in this pandemic too. We understand completely that sometimes you got to do what you got to do. We're not going to say go out and do it, but if you come to us and tell us what's going on, we at least know what we need to do in order to take the next steps to get your hair in good shape. So knowing that there can be adverse reactions when mixing professional color and home color, it's best to make sure your stylist knows everything that's going on with your hair. And that's why hair color history is super important, so that we can make the decisions necessary in order to color your hair moving forward. What about damage? So I know you've heard, if you use box color, you're going to fry your hair. It's going to fall out. Your hair is going to be damaged. Is that true? Well, hair color is a chemical. Anytime you use a chemical, you risk your hair being damaged, especially depending on the condition that you're starting off with to begin with. So you have to think about what you've done to your hair in the past before you put something else on it that may or may not be compatible. Let's talk about what all hair color does. Hair color makes a chemical change to your hair. In order to get inside your cortex, which is the center of your hair strands, to make this chemical change, your cuticle has to be lifted. The cuticle is almost like shingles on a roof on your hair strand. They keep bad stuff in, well, bad stuff out and good stuff in. When you do things such as thermal style, use a chemical product, or even wash your hair, that does affect how your cuticles open and close. So it's something like a tightly packed cuticle, and then you use hair color, it opens and then it shuts. The opening and shutting motion of your cuticle, it can actually start to not shut as much every time you open and close. And that's where you can end up with damaged hair. When your cuticle is not tightly closed, it makes for weakness in your hair. And it can be very difficult to keep it moisturized, to style, or to even have your color process and come out properly. So these are things that can happen with both professional color and at home color. What happens is when you color at home, sometimes you don't realize that the color that you did a few years ago when your long hair is still there, and those ends could already be a little bit more compromised. So when you put box color on top of it, especially not knowing what the developer is inside the box, you could be exposing yourself to damage. Same thing can happen in the salon if you go to a stylist who does not know your hair color history or is not very experienced with hair color or highly educated as to how to take care of your hair. So if you purchase a color and do it at home, is it possible for you to get damage? Absolutely. So reading the manufacturer's directions and making sure that you are taking good care of the condition of your hair that you are putting color on, or that you're not putting color on hair that's already damaged, is going to be your best bet. Well, what about temporary colors? What if you just want to do a rinse, or you want to do a demi-permanent color, or, just something that washes out? That shouldn't be so harmful, right? Depending on what the color it is that you use, just getting the knowledge of knowing what happens when you use these types of color. Temporary colors are colors like sprays, hair paint wax, anything that washes out in one shampoo. Those would be temporary colors. Powders, those would be great alternatives to actually coloring your hair, something that makes a chemical change to it, because you just cover up what's going on, and when you shampoo your hair, it comes right out. When you do shampoo, make sure to use a clarifying shampoo or do a clarifying treatment to make sure that you're really rinsing off all of the color that you put on top and you're not leaving any buildup behind. How about rinses or demi-permanent or semi-permanent hair colors? These hair colors don't necessarily enter into the cortex or inside the hair strand and make a chemical change, but they do bump the cuticle just a little bit and kind of adhere themselves right underneath. They like stick right into the little teeny nooks and crannies of your hair. This helps it to last longer than just one shampoo, but depending on the condition of your hair, it could really be in there for a long time. Picture your hair as a fabric. Say your hair is cotton. If you have on a white cotton t-shirt and you spill red Kool-Aid on it, when you go to throw it in the wash, will it wash off completely? Maybe, maybe not. How about if you take the red Kool-Aid and you spill it in the same exact spot again? How about if you do it a third time, a fourth time? How about a fifth time? When you wash it, is that going to come out completely? No, you're definitely still going to see some of the remnants of that red Kool-Aid that stained the hair. Is it the same as if, say, you went to a craft store and purchased red fabric dye and dyed the white t-shirt? No, because that's going to make it red. That'll be permanent and you won't be able to remove it. That's pretty much the difference between using a semi-permanent color or rinse and using a permanent color. Because your hair is a fabric, and depending on how intact your cuticle is, it can absorb that color and it can really get stuck in there. Now, if you spilled the red Kool-Aid multiple times in the same spot on the white t-shirt, how do you get it out? I know you all know the answer. You have to get bleach. Same thing with a semi-permanent color. So sometimes it seems harmless to do something that seems temporary, but in the long run, if your hair is very porous and can suck up that color, or you do it multiple times, it can take the same processes as removing a permanent color using bleach or a color remover. How about just going dark? Are you tired of looking at the roots and say, ugh, I'm just going to do black or just brown and just color my hair back to my natural color until I can get to the salon, and then I'll get some highlights and my stylist will fix it. I don't even want to look at this two-tone hair anymore. I'm just going to cover it up for now. Is that a good idea? Let's talk about what happens when you cover up your hair color. One, depending on what you're covering up, your results for black or brown might not come out if, say, your hair is very blonde or really red if you're putting a color on top of it. Two, going back to the color that you had completely might not be as easy as you think. So say you have some highlights and you went to the salon and you got some highlights and it took an hour and they came out beautiful and your hair was really dark when you went in and it was fine. Same thing, right? Not so much. Removing artificial color is not the same as removing natural color. So I know many of you have heard the saying before, color doesn't lift color. What does that even mean? What it means is that hair color is formulated to remove natural pigment. It is not formulated to remove artificial pigment. When you put any type of color on your hair, that is an artificial pigment. And hair color, like say a box or a salon hair color, is not going to remove that because it's not formulated to do so. In order to change artificial color, you have to use either a color remover or bleach to take the color out. And because you put it in to cover grays or to really get some vibrancies, it doesn't lift the same as your natural hair color does. So it could take more than one visit if your hair is strong enough to handle it, or you might not be able to get back to the color you had at all if your hair isn't strong enough to handle it. So going darker just for the meantime could mean that you ruin the hair color that you have, and it's going to be hard for you to get back to it. What if I just want to touch up my roots? My hair is brown. I don't want to get anything crazy. I got 3 inches of roots and I just want to put brown on my roots in order to get me through. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? Well, if you're using hair color to just cover your roots, make sure that your hairstylist is well aware of what you did when you come into the salon. And if you are, make sure you also use a friend or a really good mirror so that you can keep the color just at the roots. The difficulties could be making sure that your brown matches, because all browns aren't created equal, and possibly overlapping that color onto your already colored strands. When you overlap color on hair that's already been colored, you can end up with a line of demarcation or create a weaker spot where there could be some damage or breakage, especially for hair that's lighter. Covering your roots may be the safest option, but it's still something that you need to let your hairstylist know about so that they can care for you appropriately when you come into the salon. Hopefully this information has helped you guys to understand what happens when you color your hair at home. This way you have the information that you need to make the decision that's going to be best for you.